So this last week was nuts. I spent a ton of time leveling, crafting. As far as like the weekly update goes in both games, I basically spent a ton of time leveling my crafters in Final Fantasy 14 because the Ishgard restoration event is going on right now. I'm not trying to rank or anything because I'm not even at 80. I'm just enjoying everybody else doing it. And what's really nice is all the materials I have to go gather for myself, all the extra stuff you kind of end up with, are selling like hotcakes right now. So I also the Kupo rewards are just phenomenally worthwhile. I got one of the casual attires sold big, so I ended up making just over 5 million this last week. So of course the first week I'm not chasing Gil. I make the most money I've made all year. So I'm back up north of 10 million. I'm still just kind of spending anywhere it makes sense. And I've got all my crafters above 71. Next goal would be 76, and that's what I'm doing on stream. So huge thanks to everybody that turned out. We had a massive number of you show up today. So the Lurk Force over from work to game coming over to support stream as Brian and I basically start to make this a bit of a partner push. So we're going to start on my end. What I can do as far as what Twitch looks for is consistency. So I'll be live every day targeting 8 a.m. Central Standard, and I'm targeting ending stream at 2 p.m. Sometimes it varies by a couple minutes on either way. But basically trying to show that, hey, I'm here to start on time, end on time, professional audio, cam. I've got guests. I've got my game tagged. I've got interesting content going on. So like I'm doing everything I can on my end because I know it's a manually viewed process. And then on the viewer count side, like I don't really have control over that. So anybody that wants to come give a lurk, come hang out, either way, any and all support as far as just viewership is the one thing that would help us get that check mark. We've had a big push on various channels. Anytime like YouTube has restricted features, there are features within behind Twitch partnership that we don't have access to, such as squad streaming and things like that. And then of course on the monetary side of things, because they're actually tied. Like on YouTube, it's like, oh well, you get 1,000 subscribers and then you get 4,000 hours of watch time, and you know, for the 4,000 hours of watch time moves me into monetization, but the 1,000 subscribers opens up the ability to like tag other creators and all this fanciness. Twitch partnership, like both things kind of happen at once. So more of people who choose to support me on Twitch goes to me and Brian, but also like I have all these really cool features, and we've been invited to do some things with other creators, and because we didn't have the check mark, we weren't eligible for those features, and so that kind of feels weird. And so that's kind of the goal right now, and that's where that's been happening. In WoW, I've been leveling up just my gold amount. I've just been doing vendor shuffles with capes. So I've just been cranking. It doesn't make very much gold per hour. I think anybody who's stopped by the stream is like, why do you even do this? It's not that good of gold per hour. But it's an incredible amount of gold per hour for the fact that I'm playing 2 games at once. It's really, any active farm would be better. But I did break 1 million for the first time in 2021. I think 2 million starts to move in that territory where like, I don't think I've ever seen a 3 there. So I don't know my most amount of gold at any one time. But I know by the time I get to a 3, that's it. We're in record territory. In 14, I have 10 million plus right now. I think the most I've ever had just like somewhere in the low 30s. So if I move into that, if that starts with a 4, then I'm definitely in world record territory for me personally. So that's long time. Those would be kind of high scores, personal bests. To get to. They're not really a feature. They're not really something I'm focused on this next week. The WoW side may naturally tick up because I'm just kind of churning through. I'm finally down under 100,000 cloth. I think I'm at like 85,000 shrouded cloth. So I am slowly but surely churning through that, which is nice. That's a nice feeling. And hopefully the crafting event in 14, I think it ends on the 22nd. So I'm trying to see how close to getting everybody to 80, but then there's a bunch of capped level things. And yeah, I won't be in time to take part in the event, but like, hopefully I'll get a chance to try out a bunch of the level 80 stuff, get into expert crafting, get into chasing best in slot, all of these things that are unique to 14 over WoW's crafting system that really in game is like going out and finding really rare recipes, grinding reputations to cap and so on. So it's much more battle driven. You're off like doing battle content and then you're getting a result. So that's kind of my change there, is that like, so I'd like to be able to compare both systems. And then I do want to get back to leveling my tanks. It's been nice to take a break from it, but then I do want to get back. My goal within 14 is to have my tanks all capped by the end of the month. That's not going to be a problem. And then in WoW, like I'd like to kind of maybe get them all into Shadowlands by the end of the month. That would be nice. So that's just kind of a process that I'll start kind of churning through slowly, not really urgently. And that's kind of my big things within games there. As far as like goals for the next week, I think I kind of hit on those. Nothing too big. Content creation wise, I'm trying to move to creating one video every day of the week, but not work on weekends. So this last weekend we had some electrical work done in the house. So work around the house was hard because, you know, when you have an electrician here, you kind of want to have all your computers disconnected. And so I had a post go live on Saturday, but not Sunday. And the goal is for me to have my Saturday and Sunday post posted prior to Friday when I call it a day, so that we have some sort of a semblance of work-life balance within content creation. So I'm willing to work as hard as it takes Monday through Friday. And then on weekends, I've been making a big push, but like going into February, I want to know that like I'm already starting to get some semblance of that back. I'm still kind of checking in on things and all that. The electrician is kind of an extenuating circumstance. So like there's still going to be some, and I'm willing to work kind of 6 to 6, like, you know, long days during the week, but ideally get some time. My wife works Monday to Friday, and so it's an easier ask to say that, you know, on weekends I can do all the house chores that I don't get done through the week. Those of you that supported me on stream and asked me, hey, do more stuff for your wife. She's been asking you to do this stuff. I got the nightstand. I tweeted that out. The nightstand's complete. Looks great. Compost pile's almost all the way moved over. So, and then all the other house chores. So now we're getting down to where it's like the next set of things on the list. It's ever giving. So I've got some videos. I'd like to, in February, move to having a more set schedule. So you guys know, like on this day, this is the kind of post that's going live. So like Mondays has been this Monday weekly, just me dumping everything that happened in the last week. It's where I kind of want all announcements to center, so that anybody else that just comes in as a brand new person to any of my other videos, we go straight into the video. So I'd like somewhere to kind of dump all that. So that'll be Mondays. I didn't really see any kind of big gaming news outside of like the 14 community had some stuff go down with like the creator. It would be classified loosely under like creator drama, because if you're not invested in the creator community within the 14 community, it doesn't affect you. But if you are invested, depending on how and who you're invested with, it may have impacted you in varying ways. And for that, like, there's nothing I can do, but I do want to say I'm sorry. It's not my fault or anything, but like it was quite a hit to the community this last week, and so I know that I felt pretty sick to my stomach reading all of it, and anybody that was closer to that situation, like that sucks. You know, and I know that people were able to reach into that situation and say, well, the worst part was this, and the worst part was that. No, this is the worst part. And I think that much of that was centered on like, well, what hit you the closest to home? But I think that the whole situation was broad enough and awful enough from enough angles that like, it didn't really feel like there truly was a worst part. In my opinion, it just felt like it just negatively impacted all sorts of people's lives, because of the choices of mostly one individual, select few individuals. There's only a couple of ways you could look at blame in that one. And I don't know that blame's really the point. I think it's more like, okay, how do we move forward? How do we recover? So that kind of sucked. But I would say like, now we get to start kind of coming together and healing as a community, and looking forward to, you know, February 5th, looking forward to if there is a April, May, March, May type event, looking forward to 6.0, whenever that is. Let's say September is a loose date, you know, and focus on like the community events that'll be driven around that, right? I think Ultimate will be another chance for the community to come together and celebrate aspects of it. And so I think there's a lot there. There's a lot of great streamers that are live that are happy to just hopefully keep focused on like the positive. I mean, it's important that we're all aware of what happened, but like, let's just move on. So I'm trying to keep it incredibly vague here, but yeah, let's just, so then I think work to game wise, we are recording multiple posts. So we had a please come hang out with us on Twitch for Monday. We've already got Tuesday and Wednesday posts, which are both responses to Reddit, because we had 2 Reddit things pop over the weekend that were interesting. Right now we're kind of in a lull between now and February 5th, so it's a chance for us to put out all sorts of things that we just haven't had a chance to say. We may bring the wheel back, I don't know. So we're kind of fumbling our way through content creation over there, as Brian has time, because it also has to be things that like we can record them and then they can go live days later, because his time is still, you know, in in the hands of in the very, very tiny hands of a very, very young human being. So with a brand new baby in the house, they are doing great, but content creation wise, when Brian says he's ready to record, I just try to make myself available, and then we record several at once. So that's what's going over on Work to Game, and as I work towards the goal with February would be some semblance of a schedule here. And getting on that schedule, the things that I know I want there is I want a Realm Revoiced to be a consistent, steady pace. So maybe that's once a week, twice a week, something like that. Just a steady clip where you can expect it on the same day every single week. I've enjoyed the totally random question segment I did with Benny at Comic Storian. And I've got another one of those recorded with Frosty from the Final Fantasy XIV community. And then my third one is from somebody from the WoW community. So we'll see. I don't like to announce that stuff until it's recorded, just in case they need to bail. I get that. And then and then I kind of want the Ethos lore talks. I don't know if those end up taking up the same day because I don't know how consistent I can be on either of those. The weekly things here, there's a couple of other like the comparison videos that I've enjoyed making. I'd like to start making those like a more predictable thing. Like on these days, I'll talk about this subject. I can film them weeks in advance. That doesn't matter because they're not really something that's time gated. It's not time sensitive. So if you guys request something in the comments and I'm passionate about it and I go look it up and make sure kind of I'm on point or whatever, I'm just feeling it, I can go ahead and record and then those can be uploaded. And then that'll give me a better feel in these Monday posts to tell you what's upcoming. These are the posts for this week. I'd like to be able to move to where on Monday I could kind of like right here on the screen overlay, here are the posts going live. Here's their thumbnails. Here's their titles. Come back on these days. They'll all go live, ideally at 8 a.m. Central Standard, the same time I go live. And then if there's news, which we know in February there will be, and of course in gaming there almost always is, news in my mind is a secondary post that comes out on 2 p.m. On the day that I film it. So I finish stream, and then I kind of do all that, and it'll come out the following day at 2 p.m. So that'll be a chance for me to talk about it on stream and kind of say that it's upcoming, and then put it out here at 2 p.m. the following calendar day. And yeah, so like my goal would be 8 and 2, start and end of stream, start and end of kind of my big push, and then content creation happens from 6 a.m. when I get up until 8 a.m. when I go live, and 2 p.m. until my days have been ending around 6 o'clock. So 6 to 6, that's kind of my normal plan. So I just wanted to kind of like, this is just me outlining my thoughts. That's all the Monday post is. So if you're listening to this at this point, and you're like, what am I listening to? Monday weekly update posts. The sole goal is to just kind of dump kind of video diary my thoughts. Maybe some of you are budding content creators, maybe some just have an interest in like the behind the scenes. I want all of that to live here, and it really helps me to kind of just voice it. And then if I really have questions later, I can always come back and say like, hey, what was I really feeling at this point and stuff like that. And then I get a lot of feedback from you guys, and it's what helps me kind of steer where future weeks go. If I have like a couple of different directions I'm thinking of, the comments on videos like these really help say, okay, you guys have seen the plan, and now I can kind of steer the plan slightly left, slightly right. I'm not going to like hard pivot into being a makeup channel, but like I am able to slightly pivot into kind of the things that you guys think you'd enjoy, because I don't just make this content just for me. I want to make content I enjoy, but like I also, take the time to upload it and tag it for SEO rankings and stuff in hopes that somebody will find it. So, I will, if there's something that you guys want to watch, and I have a couple video ideas, and one of them is that one. I really want to know that so that I can focus on that one and put that effort there. As things get to cap, I do want to start putting guides up here. I do want to start putting introduction guides. I don't want to wait till I'm an expert, like the ultimate be all end all. I just want to like the getting started type guides are really where like I find my passion. Somebody who just says, I don't even know where to begin. Like, okay, well, I know enough to get you there. The people who have like really focused on one game and one aspect of a game and honed into like the absolute max level, I like consuming that content. Making it is not really my thing. And so like listening to those people that are hyper passionate about a very narrow aspect of one game is something that like I have a great amount of admiration for. It's just probably never going to be the thing I make here. So the goal would be to kind of, do everything I can as far as teaching myself and learning on stream with you guys, and then going out and consuming all that content and parsing down like specifically, okay, if you were just starting out today, specifically within kind of my wheelhouse, like say you're in 14 and you're going to WoW, or WoW and you're going to 14, or you've never played an MMORPG before and one of those is your first, like I really take a lot of joy in like welcoming you to these games that have meant an immense amount to me over the years. So that's really it. That's the weekly update this week. Sorry it wasn't live this morning. I have to film these on kind of Sunday night, or what will eventually be, I'm guessing, Friday night, if I want them to be live Monday morning. So that's something I haven't quite gotten my workflow to be perfect on. But I'm filming this after stream, so I can tell you with hindsight, today's stream was amazing. You guys blew through every concurrent number that we've had on average this year by far. Follower, subs, everything, every number, every metric. If it could, I'm sure if it could keep track of chat and even like channel points, redemptions, anything and everything, there is no way today was not by far the most incredible stream from what you guys bring to the table. I don't know if it's the best content we've put out, but it is by far the best that you guys have done at like supporting and sharing with Brian and I. And I do want to say right here at the end of the video, a huge thank you for that. So I am going to go take off and start on filming the next collab with somebody, and then get moving on making sure that I have posts ideally each and every day. Like I said, between now and the end of the month, I'm still kind of trying out different content things. So I've got a couple more reaction posts to get through and a couple more like other type things that I just want to like toss out there so that you guys tell me if you like that style of content. And then the goal in February will be to take those types and start putting them in buckets so that you know what to expect on a Monday versus a Thursday. That's it. Take care.